Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Sakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanustate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadhyade Shatadhane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, thank you for coming. So today we wanted to look at the Arctic songs that are written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They're truly amazing. We were speaking yesterday about the emotions that these songs carry, and how the emotions of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, they can touch our hearts. They can bring us to a different platform. We're used to material emotions. We're all experienced with material emotions. They're actually in a very confined realm, and they're based on attachment and fear and anger. Actually, this is the sum and substance of material emotions. And we heard that the emotion, you can say that is the gateway into spiritual emotions, is this sense of gratitude. This feeling of how fortunate I am to come into contact with Krishna, to come into contact with the devotees. Keshava Maharaj was speaking really nicely on this same, we spoke about this yesterday. I thought it was interesting. He came across the same point again, that we hear of these sometimes turbulent emotions of the devotees, feeling, fallen, and, we read this song, Amar Jivan, right? I don't usually sing that song, it's just too heavy. My life is full of, like that. But, so this is one side, they're feeling this, but on the other side, they're having this deep, deep appreciation that there's hope, there's great, great hope. Krishna's there, the Lord has appeared in this world. He's made himself available through his holy name. So there's these kind of two things together. So singing the songs of our acharyas give us really kind of an access into spiritual emotions. Whatever we do in this world, it's not really because of intellect or thought. It's really the emotions that drive us, if you analyze it, right? What we do, there's some emotion behind it. So connecting with these emotions of our acharyas is powerful, and we can do that through these songs. Now, these Arctic songs are especially wonderful. There's not a drop of lamentation or hankering in them. They're just totally Haribol. Just 150% Haribol. And another thing I think is really interesting about these songs is there's no asking. If you look at these songs, there's no like, my dear Lord, please give me this, give me this. We used to make this joke, Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Give me a wealth, give me health and a castle by the sea, Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So, loose translation. So, but in the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's just pure glorification. And not only is it's glorification, but it's his vision. I mean, we're doing artik and we're twirling some incense and we see the deity, right? And we feel some devotion, some appreciation. Now, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur is seeing the artik, well, it's a little different. And we'll see what he's thinking when he sees this artik. So I thought we could start with this Gora artik, which we're all familiar with, but maybe, just maybe, there's more here in this song than we realize. It's such a powerful song, it's a wonderful song. But before we do that, I wanted to tell a little story. Or have my storyteller over here tell a little story.
So this is a little story from when Srila Prabhupada again came to England for the first time, and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra had been released, and it was a top single in England and then Europe, and it was spreading very fast. And the Apple team was arranging programs for these devotees to promote the Hare Krishna Mantra single, both in England and other European countries. And at the same time, the devotees, they were arranging speaking engagements for Srila Prabhupada, one of which was a weekly engagement in London at Conway Hall. And again, in Jamuna Devi's words, one night a week, we all went into London, where Prabhupada had a program at Conway Hall. Conway Hall was a 500-seat auditorium in Red Lion Square. The programs always followed a similar format, and at the time, they were virtually Srila Prabhupada's only public preaching from Tittenhurst. So there would be a kirtan led by Srila Prabhupada, then a lecture, followed by another kirtan, which I usually led. We sat on an old wooden stage with Prabhupada in our midst on a raised dais covered with cloth. An oversized satin World Sankirtan Party banner hung behind us. I brought the 6-inch deities in a little wooden box, and they were placed on a table altar with vases and a bowl of burning incense. Our party had grown to about 15 members. The first gathering was small, perhaps 50 attendees. Later, more people began to come. Sometimes there were more Indian guests than Europeans, and then vice versa. One night, an extraordinary thing happened. Prabhupada led the first kirtan and then gave a lecture. I sat on the floor just to his right with the harmonium, and after the lecture, I began leading the second Hare Krishna kirtan. All of a sudden, Srila Prabhupada's voice cut through the auditorium with the potency of Lord Nrsimha right in the middle of my chanting. I had never heard Prabhupada do that, nor had I heard the words he chanted. Narada Muni Bhajai Bina Radhika Ramana Name, he sang. And then again he repeated it. I looked up, and he looked down at me, signaling me to carry on. So I continued chanting Hare Krishna, and he continued singing his prayer to Narada Muni into his microphone. I closed my eyes and carried on, not knowing what was happening. Then he started leading with me. We could all understand that something inexplicable but amazing was happening. Everyone was literally jumping off the ground, leaping in the air. Even little Saraswati was 2 feet off the ground. And the audience was leaping into the air. We jumped off the stage, and all of us began running around the perimeter of the auditorium with the audience. It was one of those Krishna magic moments. Just amazing. The next morning, I asked Prabhupada what had happened the previous night. Didn't you see? Srila Prabhupada asked. Narada Muni came to our kirtan. No, I didn't see him, I answered. Yes, Srila Prabhupada said, Narada Muni came.
I was remembering also another incident where there was I think it was early days, and the hippie devotees, young devotees were chanting, and Srila Prabhupada was laughing, and someone asked him what it was, why he was laughing, and he said, Narada Muni and Lord Shiva came to the kirtan, and when they saw all the hippies and chanting Hare Krishna, they began to laugh in ecstasy. So anyway, this is an idea. Realized souls perhaps see something in the kirtan that we don't see, and that I wanted to present that because we will hear now of what Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Artik, we sing this at Sandhya Artik, the evening Artik. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing this song. And we see similarly Lord Narada Muni and Lord Shiva also appear in the Artik ceremony. So perhaps one day, while we're having Gaur Artik, we'll share this vision. Some people say that he's describing the Mahaprakash in this Artik. So he says, Kiba Jayo Jaya Gaurachandra, Arati Keshava. So this beautiful, beautiful Artik, all glories, all glories, all glories to this, the moon-like Gaurachandra, the moon-like Lord Chaitanya. And where is this Artik going on? Janavi Tatavani, on the grove, on the banks of the Ganges or the Janavi. And while this Artik is going on, Jaga Manaloba, the mind of the entire universe is attracted. Lord Chaitanya is there just glowing, and the whole universe is attracted to this vision of Lord Chaitanya. So then he says, Dakine Nitai Chand. So on his right hand, our left, is this moon-like Nitai Chandra, the moon-like Lord Nityananda. And to his left side, Lord Chaitanya's left side is Gadadhar and Nikate Advaita, and then one more over is Advaita Acharya. And Srinivas Chatradara. Srinivas is... Srivas, I'm sorry. Srivas. That's interesting. Is that a mistake?
No, it's fine.
Anyway, Srivas Thakur. It's written actually Srinivas. Anyway, Srivas Thakur. Chatradara, he's holding an umbrella. So this is a beautiful scene. The Lord Chaitanya is there, and he's surrounded by all of these personalities. Srinivas Thakur is holding an umbrella. And then Basi Achigora Chandratna Singhasani, the Lord Gauranga is sitting on a on a jeweled throne, Ratna Singhasani. He's sitting on this jeweled throne. And who is performing the Artik? Arati Korena Brahma, Adi Devagane. So this is his vision that Lord Chaitanya is sitting there, and Lord Brahma is performing the Artik. One day we'll see like this. He's performing this Artik, and Adi Devagane. All of the demigods are present there for that Artik ceremony. They're all there. Narahari Adikari. So these are some of the Lord's eternal associates who come with him. So Narahari Shakar is there, and he's fanning him with a chamra, with a whisk. Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Ghosh Adigaya. So these are the Lord's kirtan singers, Sanjaya, Mukunda, and Vasu Ghosh. We sing some of the songs of Vasu Ghosh, like Jaya Jaya Jagannatha, Sacinandana, right? And what's that other one? Gaur, anyway. No, that about he's hankering for, yeah, anyway, sorry. So anyway, these devotees, there are many songs that they wrote, and they were present there in this, when we're having Artik, they're all present there singing for him, singing these songs. And that's just so beautiful. Shanka Bhaje, and the conch shell blows, right? This Shanka, the conch shell is sounding along with the bells and the kartals. And Madhura Mridanga, the sweet Mridanga is playing. The Mridanga is so sweet. And it's playing, and there's a very relishable sound. Often the way this is sung, we go, Madhur, 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 Bhaje. Kind of goes into ecstasy about the Shanka and the Mridanga. And so nice. So this is the beautiful scene. Bahu Koti Chandrajini and Vadana Ujjvala. So this Lord Chaitanya's face is shining like millions of moons. And it's conquering the brilliance of millions of moons, his beautiful face. Ngalade Shevanamala. And he's around his neck is a garland of forest flowers, and those flowers are also effulgent. They shine. And then this last line, Shiva, Shuka, Narada. Lord Shiva is there. Shukadev Goswami is there. And Narada Muni are there. And they're preme gada gada, means their voices are choked up with ecstasy as they're singing for Lord Chaitanya, this beautiful artik, and their voices are choked. So then Bhakti Vinoda Deke, Gaurara Sampada, just see. His voice is choked up in ecstasy. Just see the glory of Lord Chaitanya, of the artik of Lord Chaitanya. Any other notable points? I've got my Bengali experts here. Anything I missed?
Everything okay.
So many subtleties. So we'll sing this melody, this song to a melody. I believe it's coming. It's more or less like the melody that Srila Prabhupada sang, which is different from what we usually sing at Gaur Arati. And it was done by these same London devotees. They put this melody on an album. So we can sing. Kiba Jayo Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kosoba Kiba Jayo Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kiba Jayo Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kosoba Kiba Jayo Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kosoba Tata Vane Jagamana Loba Janavi Tata Vane Jagamana Loba Janavi Tata Vane Jagamana Loba Dakene Thai Advaita Srinivasa Chatudara Nikate Advaita Srinivasa Chatudara Advaita Srinivasa Chatudara Vasi Ache Gora Chandratna Simasan Vasi Ache Gora Chandratna Simasan So many Gora, Anantakoti Gornitai here. So, thank you. It's an amazing song, huh? We sing this every day, but...
For meanings for good.
Yeah, anyway. It's actually an amazing song. It's the vision of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we can pray that one day, while performing Artik, we will see this. So, all of these Artik songs are similar in this respect. This vision that he's saying. So I wanted to do Boga Artik, and this Artik is generally done at noon, right? Right. Yeah. The noon Artik, and it's when the big Raj Bog offering is made. So it's the largest offering in most of the temples, that there's so many preparations offered. So we can see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur's take on this is. So this is also offered to, he's worshiping Lord Chaitanya, and he addresses Lord Chaitanya, worship Lord Chaitanya, who is Bhakatavatsala. He's very friendly to the devotees. He's very, very favorable, very affectionate, like this, Bhaktavatsala. Lord Chaitanya is so kind. He's always very, very affectionate to his devotees. And Shri Gaura Hari, Shri Gaura Hari, Bhaja Bhakatavatsala, Shri Gaura Hari. Shri Gaura Hari, so he goes to be Hari. Now, of course, Lord Chaitanya is coming. He's Krishna, coming in the mood of Radharani. But sometimes he takes the mood of a cowherd boy also. And he meets with his gopas, headed by Lord Nityananda. And they have their cowherd boy pastimes, and sometimes they play and they do different things like this. So this is his vision, that he's worshiping Gaura Hari, but he's very affectionate to his devotees, and he's the same personality, Nanda Yasomati Chittahari, who has stolen the hearts, Chittahari, of Nanda and Yashoda, and Goshtha-Bihari. He's sporting with his cowherd friends. So this is his vision of what's happening. We're worshiping Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is busy acting, as a cowherd boy with his friends, stealing the hearts of Mother Yashoda, and so on. So it's a long song. I'm not going to try to go through everything, but we will have our reader read this to us.
It's so sweet. It's just so sweet. And you can follow along on the screen. Mother Yashoda calls to Krishna, "My dear Damodar, it is very late. Please come right now, sit down in the dining hall and take your lunch." On the direction of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, the holder of Govardhan Hill, sits down. And then all the cowherd boys, along with Krishna's elder brother Sri Baladev, sit down in rows to take their lunch. They are then served a feast of shukta and various types of green leafy vegetables, then nice fried things and a salad made of the green leaves of the jute plant. They are also served pumpkin, baskets of fruit, small square cakes made of lentils and cooked down milk, then thick yogurt, squash cooked in milk, and vegetable preparations made from the tower of the banana tree. Then they receive fried squares of mung dal patties and urad dal patties, chapatis, and rice with ghee. Next, sweets made with milk, sugar, and sesame, rice flour cakes, thick cooked down milk, cakes floating in milk, and sweet rice. There is also sweet rice that tastes just like nectar due to its being mixed with camphor. There are bananas and cheese, which is nectarian and delicious. They are also served 12 kinds of sour preparations made with tamarind, limes, lemons, oranges, and pomegranates. There are puris made with white flour and sugar, puris filled with cream, ladus, and dal patties boiled in sugared rice. Krishna eagerly eats all of the food.
Cowherd boys like to eat. They're the original foodies, I think. Just imagine this. I guess this is why we're called kitchen religion, right?
In great ecstasy and joy, Krishna eats the rice, curried vegetables, sweets, and pastries cooked by Srimati Radharani. Krishna's funny Brahmin friend, Madhu Mangala, who is very fond of ladus, gets them by hook or by crook. Eating the ladus, he shouts, "Haribol, Haribol," and makes a funny sound by slapping his sides under his armpits with his hands.
Anybody know how to do that?
Any of the boys?
Yeah, like that.
Beholding Radharani and her gopi friends out of the corner of his eyes, Krishna eats at the house of Mother Yashoda with great satisfaction. After lunch, Krishna drinks rose-scented water. Then all of the boys standing in lines wash their mouths. After all the cowherd boys wash their hands and mouths, in great bliss, they take rest with Lord Balaram. The two cowherd boys, Jambula and Rasala, then bring Krishna pan made with betel nuts, fancy spices, and kachu. How do you say that? Kochu. Kochu. Eating that, you want to tell us what it is?
It's from the banana tree, actually.
I don't know English, but kochu, Bengali they said kochu. Radharani favorite.
After eating that pan, Sri Krishna Chandra then happily goes to sleep. While Krishna happily takes his rest on an excellent bedstead, his servant Vishalaksha cools him with a fan of peacock feathers. At Mother Yashoda's request, the gopi Danishta brings remnants of food left on Krishna's plate to Srimati Radharani, who eats them with great delight. Lalita Devi and the other gopis then receive the remnants, and within their hearts they sing the glories of Radharani and Krishna with great joy. Thakur Bhaktivinoda, whose one and only joy is the pastimes of Lord Hari, sings this Bhoga Arti song.
Jai, Haribol. One and only joy. It's nice.
This is not a vegan song.
No.
It's not a vegan song, no, correct. Good point. Not required. Srila Prabhupada sings this bhajan, and this melody is more or less the same one he sings, but I'm singing a slightly different version. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of Murari Hari Prabhu. I don't know, have you ever been in Mayapur for Bhoga Arti? Anybody there? Anyway, it's quite an event every day. And Murari Hari sings a classic, where he's a disciple, Bengali disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He's quite elderly now, but he's still there every day singing this wonderful song. I guess we'll do the first part kind of a laugh, call and response, and then we'll do Jai Govind. Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gora Hari.
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 Shri Gora Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari.
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 Nanda Yasomati Chita Hari.
Nanda Jasamati Chita Hari.
Nanda Yasomati Chita Hari.
Nanda Jasamati Chita Hari.
Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gora 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 Hari.
Belo Holo Damodara Aisa Kona. Bela Holo Damodara Aisa Kona. Bhogamandire Bose Kara Bhajan. Nandera Nideshe Vaise Girivaradhare. Nandera Nideshe Vaise Girivaradhare. Nandera Nideshe Vaise Girivaradhare. Baladeva Sahasaka Vaise Sari Sadi Vaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Shukta Shakari Vaji Nalita Gitspanda Dalni Dalna Dukkha Tumbi Dade Moksha Khanda Buddha Bodha Masha Bodha Bodhika Vitana Buddha Vasara Bodhika Vitana Buddha Bodha Masha Bodha Bodhika Vitana Saskuli Pistaka Ki Bole Bayasana Rasa Amrita Salama Dada Sapakara Amrita Chini Sarpuri Ladura Sabale Sarpuri Chini Sarpuri Ladura Sabale Ojana Karina Krishna Hoye Kute Holi Ojana Karina Krishna Hoye Kutta Holi Ojana Krishna Vaja Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Vaja Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Vaja Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Radhikare Pakana Vivida Banjana Radhikare Pakana Vivida Banjana Paramanande Krishna Kohena Bhajana Paramanande Krishna Kohena Bhajana Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Challe bole laddu kai se madhu mandala. Challe bole laddu kai se. Challe bole laddu kai se madhu mandala. Bhagala bajaya deyari bolo. Bhagala bajaya deyari bolo. Jai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo. Jai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo. Radhika de Gane re Nayane Rakone Radhika de Gane re Nayane Rakone Tripta hoye kai Krishna Yasona Bhavan Kai Krishna Bhojanante Pi Krishna Shubhasita Bhari Bhojanante Pi Krishna Shubhasita Bhari Sabe mukha prakalo hoye sari sadhi Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Hasta Mukha Prakaliya Chata Saka Gane Anande Vishama Kore Baladeva Same Baladeva Same Jambula Rasala Nitambula Masala Jambula Rasala Nitambula Masala Ahake Krishna Chandra Sukha Nidagela Taha Chandra Sukhe Nija Gela Vishalakashi ki puche chamara dulaya Tamala masala Tamala masala Apravasaya Krishna Sukhe Nidajaya Apravasaya Krishna Sukhe Nidajaya Yasumate Age Vedani Sanito Yasumate Age Vedani Sanito Shri Krishna Prasad Radha Kunje Prito Shri Krishna Prasad Radha Kunje Prito Krishna Prasad Radha Kunje Prito Lari Thari Sakhi Gana Vasesha Para Lari Thari Sakhi Gana Vasesha Para Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Lari Tari Sakhe Gana Avashesha Paya Vaja Bhagata Vachala Sigora Hari Vaja Bhagata Vachala Sigora Hari Vaja Bhagata Vachala Sigora Hari Hari Leela Ekmatra Yara Pramoda Hari Leela Hari Leela Ekmatra Yara Pramoda Bhogarati Gai Bhakti Vinoda Bhogarati Gai Bhakti Vinoda Bhagata Vatsala Sigora Hari Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sigora Hari Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Sigora Hari Tagora Hariba Hariba Haribo Go Haribo Gaur Hariba, 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 Gaur Hariba. Jai Jai Govinda, Jai Jai Govinda, Jai Govinda, Jai Jai Govinda, Jai Jai Govinda, Jai Jai Govinda, Jai Jai Govinda, Govinda, Gopala. Jai Jai Govinda, Govinda, Gopala. Govinda, Govinda, Gopala. Gopinatha Mandala. Jai Govinda Govinda Gopala. Govinda Govinda Gopala. Jai Jai Govinda Govinda Gopala. Jai Jai Govinda Govinda Gopala. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Jaya Radha Madhav. Jaya Panchatata, 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 Jaya Panchatata. Jaya Nrsimhadev, 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 Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Go Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gauri Bo. Jai Gaur Premanandi. So, nice day at Mayapur. Mayapur East. So we're not going to have time to do all 4 songs, I don't think. So maybe we'll do one later. But this next song is, it's called Yugal Arti. It's also a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the way we'll do this is we'll, you can read.
Okay.
And yeah, well, before each verse we'll read. How many of you are familiar with this song? This Radha Krishna Arti. Yeah. Actually, we'll just sing the first verse together slowly. And then you can read the translation. We'll do it again. Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milana
Arati Koro Elali Tari Sakigan
All glories to the meeting of the transcendental pair, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. The gopis, headed by Lalita, perform the arati ceremony for their pleasure.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Narati Karo Elali Tari Sakigan Jaya Jaya
Radha Krishna
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Elali Tari Sakigan
Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milana
Arati Karo
Lali Tari Sakigana
Madana Mohana Rupa Chivanga Sundara Pitambara Shiki Puja Churamana Madana Mohana Rupa Chivanga Sundara Pitambara Shiki Puja
The threefold bending form of Krishna, the attractor of Cupid, dressed in yellow silk dhoti and wearing a crown decorated with peacock feathers, is simply captivating to the mind.
Not yet. Madana Mohana Rupa Chivanga Sundara Pitambara Shiki Puja Churamana Madana Mohana Rupa Chivanga Sundara Pitambara Shiki Puja
Churamanohara. Sitting to the left of the charming Lord Madhava is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, dressed in a lovely deep blue sari. Her complexion is the color of molten gold, and all characteristics of her beauty and qualities are highly praiseworthy.
Lalita Madhava Bhame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Gune Danya
Lalita
Whoa, whoa.
Ashana Gauri Rupe Gune Danya
Lalita Madhava Bhame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Guni Danya Lalita Madhava Bhame
Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Gune Danya. She is decorated with various shimmering, sparkling ornaments. Her face is so splendorous that it enchants the mind of Lord Hari.
Nanavida Alankaram Kore Jala Mala Hari Ujjvala Nanavira Lankara Kore Jalamala Harimano Vimohana
Badana Ujjvala
Nanavira Lankara Kore Jalamala Harimano Vimohana Badana Ujjvala Harimano Vimohana
Badana Ujjvala. The gopis of Vishaka's group sing many enchanting songs in various tunes, while the topmost class of gopis, known as the Priya Narmasakis, soothe Radha and Krishna by waving chamara fans.
Vishakari Shaki Gana Nana Rage Gaye Priya Namasaki Jata Chamara Dulaye
Vishakati Saki Gana Nana Ragina Aya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya
Vishakari Saki Gana Nana Rage Gaye Priya Namasaki Jata Chamara Dulaye
Vishakati Saki Gana Nana Ragikaya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya. Hoping to attain the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhava, Bhakti Vinod happily swims in the ocean of bliss found at the feet of the damsels of Rajadam.
Shiradhamadava Padam Sasarya Chihashe Bhakti Vinoda Shaki Padesukavase Shiradhamadava Padam Sarasya Shiradhamadava Pada Sarasijashe Bhakti Vinoda Shaki Uravase Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna, Yugala Milan, Naradikaro Elali, Tare Sakega, Radha Krishna, Yugala Milan, Naradikaro Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna, Yugala Milan, Naradikaro Elali, Tare Sakega, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Here you go. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
We have a few other songs planned for Thursday and Friday, but if any of you have any heart-stirring longing for a particular bhajan, please let one of us know and we'll see if we can include it, okay? Or actually, if you want to share it now, if anyone has a Kopinath. Shuddha Bhakata? Any other requests?
We'll run it by the committee and.
Anyways, if you, yes?
Mama Mana Mandire.
Yes, Temple of the Mind.
We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you for singing so enthusiastically.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Badahari Prabhu ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande.